artists, creators, mystics, visionaries, dreamers. It's your time to manifest the most creative, fulfilling, profitable career that you can imagine. That is my dream for you, and that is what this video is going to help you with. I am Beyond Taylor, and I am here to help you go beyond your self-imposed limitations. So I would like to start off with a quote by Alan Watts. He says, "This is the real secret of life, to be completely engaged with what you are doing in the here and now. And instead of calling it work, realize it's play." Imagine doing what you love and getting paid for it, and it never feeling like a burden. Every time you show up, you're like, I can't believe that I'm getting paid to do this. That's exactly what's possible. It's what I did. It's what I'm helping my clients do. And it's what you can create for yourself. All through the art of manifestation, allowing, receiving. Let me just give you some statistics. By 2029, the creator economy is predicted to grow to $215 billion globally. Yeah, $215 billion. There's more than enough to go around. It's your turn to get a slice of the pie. And research at Stanford University shows that people who engage in creative work they enjoy experience a significant increase in productivity and a 25% reduction in stress levels. This means that turning your creative passions into something that you get paid to do is not only going to reduce your stress levels, which is like, who wouldn't want that? But also it's going to bring you so much meaning and purpose into your life. It's going to give you so much more energy. It's going to feel rejuvenated. You know how sometimes you get off work and you're like, oh my God, that's exhausting. And you get home and you don't feel like doing nothing else. Imagine your job actually energizing you. So when you get off, you have more than enough energy to engage in hobbies and hang out with your family and just live life on your own terms. Isn't that something that you're interested in? Well, you can manifest that for yourself. And let me just say that it's completely possible for you to make your creative passion into a money-making machine without feeling like you're selling yourself out or selling your art out. It can feel very aligned for you. You have the power to create this for yourself because we live in an infinite reality with infinite possibilities, and you can manifest this into your reality by believing in it and, more importantly, acting as if it was already true, regardless of what you see, regardless of the numbers of what's in your bank account, of how people are responding to your art. You can show up as if you are already turning your creative passion into a full-time gig where you're making as much money as you can dream. But you have to learn how to detach from the outcome in the beginning. Because right now, you know, it doesn't matter what type of artistry what type of artistry you are doing, what type of artist you are. You know that the digital world is where it's at because you can reach as many people as possible. We are in an amazing time period where you can press a button and your art has the potential to reach millions, hundreds of millions of people. Do you believe that it is possible for you? If you believe, then get ready for the ride of your life. So whether you are making music, painting, sculpting, pottery, crocheting, content creation, writing, whatever you do, when you put it out in the internet, it has the potential to make you so much money, impact so many lives, change so many lives, and most importantly, change your life. But you have to be ready and willing to do what it takes, which just means aligning yourself with already being that person and not what you've been doing, which is overthinking, doubting yourself, staying stuck in this cycle of like starting projects and stopping projects, starting projects and stopping projects. because there's so much criticism. Your inner critic is loud. And it's like, well, what about this and what about that? Your perfectionism is loud. Do you hear me? These are the only things that's preventing you from doing what you want to do. For some of you, you are putting yourself out there. You're putting yourself out there and then it's crickets. Or it's not doing as well as you think, because you feel like you the shit. You feel like your stuff is badass. So why aren't people buying? Why aren't people watching? Why aren't people liking? Why aren't people sharing? Why are there no comments? And then you run and hide, because you are tying your worth to how others are perceiving your art. As long as you feel like it's the shit, other people will eventually catch on. But you have to be so convicted in it that you don't care if 0 people see it. It feels so good to just show up and do what you love. And with that, people will flock. They will flock, I'm telling you. So it's just about staying with the energy of acting as if what you desire is already done. And what you desire is to be a full-time creator and to make whatever that number is to you. So how can you show up in that way now? So what you desire, above even being the content creator and impacting the lives that you are going to impact, and just spreading your joy, allowing people to take a peek into your soul, you desire peace. Because if you didn't care how others were perceiving your process and your journey, you would just go out there and do the damn thing. But because you care, that's what's creating the most resistance. So really what you want is peace. Because when you have true peace, you can navigate all of that. You can navigate the thoughts that are coming up about, like, what are people going to think about me? Because you're still at peace even with those thoughts. You're still at peace even when the numbers aren't where you want them to be right now, or where you know they are in your desired reality. You can be at peace. So what you desire is to live your dream life, to have the peace, to stay consistent, to continue to show up for yourself, to not keep doing this start and stop cycle, to have accountability, so that if you do get in your own way, there's someone right there rooting for you and telling you you can do this. This is what you deeply want. And you want to know that it's possible for you to align with this reality, because you watch videos all the time about how to manifest your ideal reality. You watch videos about, how to reprogram your subconscious mind, how to raise your consciousness. You watch videos like this all the time. But something's still preventing you from making this happen. So you want it to happen so that you can prove to yourself that everything that you've been watching, that they're speaking facts, and not just through like understanding it, but through your experience. You want to prove it through your experience. And I'm telling you, you will. It's inevitable. Do you believe that? So who am I, and why should you listen to me talking about manifesting a creative career that you can do full time? Well, I am Beyond Taylor, like I said, and I do content creation full time, and I also have a coaching business where I help creators do this. So I started my journey in about 2021, and I was able to grow my TikTok. I was able to grow my Instagram, and now I am growing my YouTube. So any platform that I go on that I take serious, it grows. I have videos that go viral, and I just do really well on social media. So now I am helping others just learn how to just fully embody being a full-time content creator, show up that way, and then get paid from it. I also get paid from YouTube as well. So if I can do it, you can definitely do it, because a lot of you guys are much more smarter than me, much more wittier than me, funnier than me, you look better than me. You have all these amazing things. So it's like, why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? You have so much to share with the world, but you're holding back and pulling back because of everything that I mentioned before. So I hope this video is just a mindset shift for you to get out of that, and remember that if you just accept it, act as if it's impossible to fail. Literally, it's impossible to fail. So when I started my creative journey, Like I said, I started on TikTok, then Instagram, then YouTube. I started on TikTok because I always wanted to do YouTube. I'll put a video right here. When I was a kid, I was like lip singing to Skyscraper by Demi Lovato, because I just always wanted to like be on camera, put myself out there, and I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed editing. I enjoyed recording. I have always just enjoyed the like videography art, period. So it's always something that I wanted to do. I was posting on YouTube for a very long time, getting no views. I've created probably like 5 different channels with like 3 different people, just trying to make it. I really wanted to make it on YouTube. So I saw like TikTok getting big. At first I was like, I'm not getting on TikTok, that's a kid app. But eventually I cracked, got on TikTok, and I said I'll just use it to funnel to YouTube. I got on there, I was like, oh my god, this is a fun app. I had fun. I started to visualize myself as having, 10,000 followers on TikTok, and I'm like, because I was just having so much fun. I'm have 10,000 followers, and like visualize myself acting as if I already had it, showing up that way. Had a video blow up. Within 2 days I had 10,000 followers. Then the next goal was 50,000 followers. And also, let me point out that, baby, delayed gratification is a thing that I had to practice, because I stopped creating YouTube videos. I only focused on TikTok because I was growing so fast. The videos, I was getting them out quick, fast, and in a hurry, that I stopped on YouTube. And I was just like, I was addicted to the instant gratification of posting on TikTok. So I just like forgot about YouTube and forgot the whole purpose of why I was doing TikTok. I just wanted to grow. I was hungry. I was like, low-key just desperate, because my worth was tied to how well I was like doing, like how well my videos were doing, how many followers I was building. So this was not a fun time. Like after I hit 10K, it was not a fun time anymore, because I just became obsessed, and it showed, because I was able to like grow my following, but I was just, and I feel like my audience could feel it too. It was just like, please watch me, please, like please. It was less about like having fun and helping, and it was more about getting. That's a completely different energetic shift. I still have videos that was going viral. I was still doing really, really well. I started posting on YouTube. My YouTube videos were doing well, because I was funneling, but I just was not doing it at the rate that I wanted. So then I was like, maybe I should start posting on Instagram. I went to Instagram. I kind of like took a step back from TikTok, went on Instagram, had videos go viral, and I was growing. I didn't grow that quickly. I never really like truly focused on Instagram, but I was able to like grow like 2,000 followers, which I'm still around that number now, because I just came back a couple months ago, like posting consistently on Instagram. But I was able to grow like 2,000 followers in like 3 months. Like it took me no time to have videos go viral, to gain an audience. And I was like, okay, I have something here. But again, I just struggled with so much self-doubt that it was just this teetering game of like me putting myself out there, and then being like, oh no, I'm not made for this. Putting myself out there, I'm not made for this. So that inconsistency really affected my results. And also, I was consciously manifesting all of this. Well, I mean, I was subconsciously manifesting all of this, whether I want to admit that or not. I was manifesting it all. So anyways, in July, locked in, got serious, said this is who I am and what I do, acted as if, started really focusing just on YouTube, was able to grow my YouTube, monetize it in less than a couple months. And then I was able to, now I'm on Instagram. I'm getting consistent on Instagram. But I mean, I have a coaching business now where I help individuals do exactly what I'm able to do. I have not been to work since right before I had my daughter, so April. I have not been to work. I have not had to get a job, because I make enough money from YouTube and also in my business. So this is what I do full time. This is why you should listen to me. I know that was a really, really long spill, but I'm the proof. And this is why I decided to create this program, because I help individuals be able to align with the truth of who they are, so that they can get out of their own way to do content creation. Because I was in my own way for years and years and years, and it wasn't until I finally locked in on my spiritual practice, and not necessarily like even trying to be a better content creator, but just like locking in on my spiritual practice and locking in on who I truly am, that things started to shift. You guys have tried to do what I'm doing, right? So what you have tried is like overloading on affirmations and vision boards. You've put on your vision board the YouTube plaque, or the number of subscribers, or seeing yourself on stages, or seeing your art on stage, or getting a Grammy, or getting an Oscar, or whatever it is that you do. You've put it on the vision board. You said affirmations. I'm talented. I'm sought out. People love to work with me. This and that. You've done all the things, but nothing came about. You've obsessed over the likes, the followers. Are people engaging with my art? Do people care about my music? Are people liking when I'm posting myself performing or dancing? Are people buying my artwork? Are people reading my books, reading my blog? You've done that, and it hasn't given you the results that you want. There must be another way. Even copy trends because you're like, okay, well, if this is working for this person, then it's going to work for me. Not realizing that it's not the trend that they're doing, it's the person. So it hasn't worked. You took traditional business courses where it's teaching you how to be able to market yourself as an artist. But those traditional business courses were just like too wordy, too logical, too like masculine in the energy and the way that they were presenting it, that it didn't work. So much money not wasted because you did learn some valuable tools and understandings, but it just didn't work. So you've been to therapy to try to work through these blocks around like believing in yourself and putting yourself out there, but you're finding out that like talking about it all the time is just keeping the problem at the surface. So didn't work. And you focus too much on when it was going to happen. So even while you are consciously manifesting this dream for yourself, you're just looking, where is it? When is it going to happen? Where is it? Obsessed, not realizing that this is operating from lack and that you must get back the reflection of what you are operating in. I'm going to tell you what you haven't tried and what I feel like is going to change the game for you, because this is what changed the game for me. A couple months ago, my friend asked me, she said, Taylor, you have been doing so well. The business is doing well. Your content is doing well. You look amazing. Everything is amazing. What are you doing? What was it like? What was the one thing? Is it visualization? Should I start visualizing? And I said, I do visualize every day. I love visualizing. I truly enjoy it. But that's not what it is. It's the fact that I remembered who I truly am. The reason why I was so caught up in the self-doubt and the self-criticism and the starting and stopping and the procrastination for as long, and the obsessing over vanity metrics for as long as I was because I was identified with a limited self. I was identified with what you're looking at now, and I identified with the fact that I was just aware of that. So once I remembered that, like, I'm not what I see, I'm what sees, everything shifted. And everything continues to shift. Everything continues to just be on the up and up. I'm making the most money I've ever made. I'm having the most fun I've ever made on social media. I feel my best. I look my best. I'm helping more people than I've ever helped in my life. Like, people are coming to me and they're saying, this is really helping me. And I'm also able to receive that. Before I would be like, like me? I'm not doing that. Now I'm like, oh, absolutely. Because it's the God in me that works. So this, like, getting over this, like, receiving wound. I'm so open to receiving everything that the universe has given me because I recognize that it's all the self anyway. So that's the one thing that shifts, and that's the one thing that you have not tried. Mainly because you probably don't know how, or it's probably just too abstract for you to wrap your mind around the fact that, like, you are not what you are aware of, but you are the one that's aware. Because you can't capture it, but it's who you are. So by recognizing who I truly am, reprogramming my subconscious mind, and acting as if, and just being accountable, which means being consistent with that, I was able to detach, to just be, allow, and everything changed. Let me break down to you a little bit more about each of those steps. So this is the exact 3-step process that I use to go from being a wannabe content creator to allowing this to become my full-time job. And this is exactly what I help my clients do in the Cash Flow and Conscious Creator program. So the first step of this is the identity shift. The reason why this is so important is because typically in the manifestation spiritual community, self-development world, we are told that, we have to change who we are. We have to change our thoughts. But that is not what this program is about. So typically, when you are coming into this world of wanting to be a full-time artist, a full-time creator, you have this fear of judgment, attachment to outcomes, scarcity mindset, comparing yourself to others, self-doubt, overthinking, victim mentality, and this need for approval. And what you'll hear is that, well, you got to change your thoughts. You got to change your thoughts. You got to think that I don't care what people think about me, right? I'm not scared about judgment. I'm releasing myself from the outcomes. I know that abundance is mine. And you're just telling yourself these things still while operating or identifying as only the small self, which is, your body and your thoughts. So what I did and what I help my clients do is to recognize that they are actually this. If you know what this is, shout out to you. So this is from the show, the anime Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and this is the truth. And I love it because it's like this yin yang type of thing going on. But what you actually are is you are not just your body and your mind. You are what your body and your mind is appearing in. You are aware of your body and your mind. You are aware of all experiences. Experience comes and goes inside of you. And you can test this out for yourself. You notice that experiences changes, but there you are. There I am. Regardless of what comes and goes, I am there. And that is who you truly are, the I am. And when you start to identify as the I am and not the body and the mind, you don't have to consciously change your thoughts, because to identify as who you truly are is to identify with infinite potentiality. It is to have unconditional worth, abundance mindset, to be present, to flow with everything, to know yourself as an empowered creator, because everything you see is a creation of consciousness, which is who you are. Inner peace, because you're just aware of any turmoil. Unity, because you're just aware of separation. You're aware of anything that talks about lack. You're aware of limitations, of boundaries, of boxes. You're aware of those things, but you are not, in fact, those things. So it's just about shifting the identity, not shifting the thoughts. So that's the first phase of how I was able to go from being a wannabe to being. The next, and how is this achieved? Sorry. This is achieved for me through self-inquiry. So like, if I am not what I am seeing, then who am I? Who am I? Constantly asking that question is allowing the truth to come up on its own, not necessarily looking for it. Because if I look for it and I find anything and I'm aware of it, then I can't be it, because I can't be anything that I am aware of. Going for walks were very beneficial for me, because just being in nature, you're like, it's less conceptual and it's more abstract to just be in nature. So it allows the abstractness of this whole concept to like come alive. And of course, meditation. And then I have like acceptance, just accepting the moment as it comes, grounding myself into the moment, simply being, without this like idea that I have to be a certain thing, but just being, this embracing everything, whether I label it as good or bad. The good or bad labeling is seen in who I truly am. Like, I am seeing that, so I can't be it. Allowing, releasing, just this being and flow. That is how this is achieved. Next, we have subconscious reprogramming. Now, this is a huge part of being able to manifest whatever you desire, because we are only conscious of a small portion of reality, period of reality. And what we're not conscious of, the larger part of that, is the autopilot behind your beliefs, behaviors, and manifestations. So in order to shift and align with your ideal reality, you have to start to feed the subconscious information that's going to support your journey. So subconscious reprogramming is still important, even with knowing yourself, because just because you know that you are not the beliefs, it doesn't mean that the beliefs aren't running the show still. So then once we know that we are the beliefs, it becomes much easier to work with and allow the beliefs to shift on their own through grace. So the way to do that is like feeling is the secret. So this is the consciousness map by David Hawkins. He wrote the book Power versus Flow. He also wrote the book, I'm reading it right now. It's all about like surrender and letting go. It's about letting go. So right now, a lot of you guys, you are right here in this survival paradigm, and I want to get you up here, and it's fully possible by feeling who you truly are. Because this is where you are now, and this is who you are. So the reason why you are here is because you're identifying with the limitations of being a body with your thoughts. When you remember who you are, then these become the natural thoughts that start to come to you, because you just become a signal, a magnet for thoughts that are of love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. But right now, when you are identifying as the separate self, which is operating in separation, you are identifying with shame, humiliation, guilt, blame. Blaming yourself, blaming others, apathy, hopelessness. This isn't going to work out for me. grief, regret. I regret not getting started earlier. I regret not doing this project. I regret letting this slip through my hands. Fear, anxiety is fear about if you're going to make it, if this even works. Desire, craving. To crave something means you don't have, which means that you're operating in lack, which means you're going to get thoughts signal to you that are in relationship to lack, which means you're going to view reality through the lens of lack. Resentment, anger, resentment, being resentment at others, being resentment at your parents because they didn't set you up for success, being resentment, having resentment towards society, this pride, this superiority. So when you start to remember who you truly are, you start to just like keep taking your attention to that and just being and allowing, you move up a bit to courage, which is like affirmations will help you do that, right? Courage, affirmations, neutrality, trusting that like maybe this is going to work out. This willingness to open up, this so optimism. Okay, I think it will. Acceptance, forgiveness. Forgiving your parents, forgiving society, forgiving yourself. And reason is understanding why things are the way that they are. And again, this is great, but it's still just a step up. Like you start to remember, and that's why affirmations right there, because it's great. But when you know who you truly are, you go into connection, you go into delight. You are at peace. You're truly content, and you're just being. There's not this attachment or this holding on or pushing away reality. It's just this full on acceptance and this isness about it. Last but not least is accountability on this process. So accountability is just an unbiased feedback loop. So all you're doing when you hold yourself accountable, it's just about holding yourself accountable to, one, stick with the practice of questioning the nature of the self, of remembering that you are not the body and the mind, and two, reprogramming the subconscious mind, whatever that looks like for you. With my clients, I always say, what do you like the best? For me, I love visualization. It's just fun. I like building up that skill. So it's just like, but holding yourself accountable so that you have that unbiased feedback loop of okay, when I'm showing up in this way, this is how reality is presenting, or this is how I feel. Not necessarily how reality is presenting, because we can't rely on reality as confirmation that we have shifted, because it's going to take some time. We can only truly rely on like how we feel and our connection or our beliefs about who we believe ourselves to be. So what accountability looks like for me is like having systems in place, tracking those systems, and then having the support. And if you're looking for support, the Beyond Collective is open. So you can come in there. We have weekly calls where we also give presentations, just like this one every few weeks. But for the most part, we're just talking and masterminding and just talking about our weeks and how we can support each other to manifesting our ideal lives, because support is huge, but also having systems in play, right? So if you don't have systems where you can hold yourself accountable, for me, I like to have habit trackers. I like to just be very organized in the way that I am going about my day and my practices, just having these systems in place, and then also tracking those systems so I can know in real time what's actually working for me and what is not, or what I feel like, oh, I'm just picking up because somebody else told me it should. So it's like just being able to track those systems. And that's exactly what I help my clients do in the cash flowing conscious creator program. So that's where that support comes from, right? I have a therapist. I have a business coach. I have a content coach. I have a spiritual coach. You might feel like, oh my God, that's so much support, but it's really not, because I understand the value of not leaning on my own understanding, because my own understanding got me in the position where I was. And I don't want to say that I wasn't happy, but it wasn't what I knew I was made for. I knew that there was still some resistance, some blocks. So I hired people who were just a little further ahead than me to come in and support me on this journey. And that's exactly what I want to be for you. So seriously, how much longer are you going to allow the small self to run the show? How much longer are you going to be crippled by your self-doubt and low self-esteem? How much longer are you going to not go after what you deeply desire when you know that everything is possible for you? Last but not least, how much longer are you going to live in this mistrust of God? How much longer are you going to reject the fact that everything is in fact working out for you? Because it is. It's always been the case. You are always taken care of every single moment. So why do you think that when it comes to your desires, when it comes to living out your creative dreams, that wouldn't be possible for you. It's just those beliefs. It's just those feelings. It's just the misidentification. Above all, it's the misidentification. You're taking yourself to be this when really you're this. Imagine me doing this as being everything. So seriously, how much better would it be to wake up every morning knowing that you're doing what you love? How much better would it be to know that your art is impacting hundreds of thousands to millions of lives and you're getting paid beautifully for it? How much better would it be to be an example for everyone around you that it's possible to not follow the status quo and do what you truly desire? How much better would that be? You have the power to manifest that. I believe it because I've done it for myself. I've seen my friends do it. I have so many friends in this industry, and they all started out with that self-doubt, that inner critic, that inability to just post and not care, that perfectionism. And through their own methods, they came to that. But really, what they did is they just realized who they truly were. They became bigger than themselves. They had to, or the small self was going to continue to pull them down. Right now, you are still in that phase of, okay, I know it's possible. I know I can get there. And what you want is over here. In order to bridge that gap, you have to rise above this small self. And you have to be consistent with it. And you got to be consistent with acting as if and giving your subconscious information that's going to drive you there. And that's exactly what the Cash Flow and Conscious Creator can do for you, the 3-month program that I have. And if you're interested, book a call down below and I can see if we're a good fit. Like MJ, who's doing amazing, who's an artist, and I cannot wait for you guys to hear her MP. And Stacy, who just signed on and she's about to blow up in the YouTube space with her blogs about how she is navigating grad school while being a content creator. The Cash Flow and Conscious Creator is going to bridge that gap for you to where right now you are still in that phase of like wanting to do it, constantly second guessing yourself, not knowing if this is the right time, not believing in yourself, to showing up as the most badass version of yourself who helps, gets paid beautifully, and just enjoys doing what you're doing. So the way I see it is you have 3 paths. Path number 1, you stay exactly where you are. You keep saying you're going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, but you allow your self-doubt to weigh you down. You allow perfectionism to prevent you from showing up. You allow your procrastination, which is just really this fear of success, to keep you from showing up in the way that you want. That's path number 1. Path number 2 is you say, okay, you know what? I know this isn't working. I know Taylor says just like recognize the self. So you try to do it on your own. And you will get progress with that. Don't get me wrong. So you'll get progress, but it will be slow. Or you have path number 3, which is hiring me, which I can hold you accountable to keep you out of that start and stop phase and to really point you to this direct experience of being the all. And then you start to receive all the inspiration, all the ideas, all the opportunities to come to you from resting in this state of who you truly are. So the option is yours. Again, if you're interested, book a call down below. And I cannot wait to talk to you guys. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. I love you guys. Bye.